It's all fish.
It's all fish.
So, I
Okay.
mean, we'll always start off with shrimp cocktail, then move to stuffed hogs, which is basically a stuffed clam. And then we'll do fried smelts, fried eel, fried calamari, linguine and clam sauce. And then we usually end, depending on how many people we have and market pricing,
Right.
we'll do either big stuffed shrimp or big stuffed lobster.
Wow. Hey everybody, Debbie Cowan here, and I finally, after 3 attempts, got my friend in here, Paul Lemieux.
There you go.
Did I do it?
You did.
Yay! From Keller Williams over at Cornerstone, but you're actually in the Summerfield office.
I am.
Yep. So I've known Paul now, I think, what, about 2 years? Is it 2 or 3?
Yeah, we're about to celebrate, just
Number
like how
3.
I'm about to celebrate my
3 years?
second year anniversary with.
Just second year. God, it feels like longer.
I know everyone says that.
Yeah,
like
it
you
does.
feel like a fixture here,
Yeah,
but no.
it's kinda like
in
dog
February,
years.
I have my 2-year anniversary with Keller Williams in February.
Coming up February. Oh wow, it does seem longer, but you're having, when time goes by, you're having so much fun. So
Always.
yeah. So Paul and I met over in Keller Williams, and did I do your parents' loan?
You did.
I did. So that was back in, gosh, I don't even know when.
So that's going to be a total of 5 years,
5 years.
if not 6.
And you moved down here with them, or were you in?
No. So the roundabout thing is, I've lived in Florida for 20 years.
But South Florida.
For 17 of it,
Wow.
I've lived in Miami because I graduated high school from up north, came down here,
Okay.
and loved it. It was never having to shovel. I'm not gonna lie.
No,
not gonna lie.
Yeah, yeah.
So I ended up staying. I graduated from UM. I stayed down here. I worked in the hospitality industry for
Right.
years.
And that's what we were going to talk a little bit
Mm-hmm.
about. So the restaurants.
Yeah, I did. I started off in my younger years, working bars, restaurants, nightclubs, and eventually worked my way up the chain. And I
So
was the
any
general
famous
manager.
restaurants in Miami you want to tell me about, or were you at Hard Rock or?
I did work at Hard Rock
You
for a little
did?
while.
Yep.
I did work there.
Okay.
It was actually kind of funny when I was working at Hard Rock. Our company actually got bought out,
Okay.
and they gave all of us management severance packages. So
Not bad. Okay,
no,
we'll take
not
it.
at all. I'll take that
Yeah.
without a doubt. So that gave me the leverage actually to go home and take care of family. So I moved back home,
Okay.
and that's where I continued working in the hospitality industry in Boston and in Connecticut.
Okay. And that's where. And then your mom and dad moved here.
Yeah, eventually. So 5 years ago, you helped them with the
Right.
loan for their home.
Right.
I was living down in Miami because I moved back during that time
Okay.
frame. And after they closed on the house, once a month I was coming up getting it ready for them.
Mm-hmm.
So then their health,
Sort of.
Yeah.
Same as mine. Yeah.
yeah. So
It
we
happens.
we fully moved them down.
Yep.
I moved from Miami up here,
What
especially.
a culture shock.
You have no idea.
I do. I know. I used to have an office in Fort Lauderdale and Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I know. It's a total, in West Palm Beach too. So I know what you must have thought when you came here.
I thought it was like country living, and
Yeah.
I've never experienced that.
Nope. Did
except
you
for
like
visit.
it?
At first, it was very unusual,
Mm-hmm.
and at that point in time, I was just like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm going to stay." I was concerned about their health and everything like
Right.
that. So I was just like, you know what? Let's just give it a shot. And with, being in my 40s, most guys get a sports car when they have their midlife
Right.
crisis.
You have
No, I get a
Here.
new career. So I left the hospitality industry. I just was tired of missing out on life and everything like that. I wanted to have flexibility in my
Yep.
own schedule
Yep.
and take care of my family and visit other family that I haven't seen and was missing out on life.
Yep.
So that was the whole thing. So I made the switch, and then with everything that happened down in Miami between COVID and then the housing market down there exploding,
Exploding. All right.
it also was during the time when the property collapsed,
Oh, the condo.
the condo.
Yes.
So the housing market just skyrocketed.
Yep.
So it just made it very easy to make a transfer.
So yeah, because I mean it was so expensive. Obviously, I mean, did you own a house
No, not at
down
that
there?
time. No.
No. Okay. So how'd you get into real estate from that transition of
I was friendly with our agent that actually found the
right?
house. I was telling her all my trials and tribulations of what was going on, and I was just telling her about some of the issues that I was
Right.
having.
Right.
And I was like, I know I could do this better with my hospitality background.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand.
I tell everyone this and they laugh about it, but I truly believe it's true. There is no difference between selling someone a high-end bottle of wine and a house.
It doesn't matter what the product is; it's who's selling it and
It's
how
all
you
about
sell.
making someone comfortable
Yep.
and
Yep.
if they trust you. And that's how I say it all the time to
But
all
it's
my
true.
clients.
It is true. That's a great analogy because I mean, a lot of people, who have gotten into this business. I mean, have you found it difficult to get your feet going into it? Is it harder than you thought it was
Well,
going to be, or
It's kind of a twofold puzzle. So one,
because I give you a lot of credit for changing your entire career and
oh, I
going
did a
into
lot.
this. Yeah, you
More
did.
than you
Yeah.
ever know.
Yeah.
But I just listened, and I've always been used to talking to people, as you can tell. I just reached out to like really my sphere first,
Of course.
and just having a conversation, reconnecting with different people, and the same story kept on coming up, and they were always asking me, "What are you doing now?"
Yep.
And I was like, "Well, I finally got out of the business," and everyone was completely happy for me
Yeah.
that I finally did it.
Yep.
And I told them I was a realtor now and back in Florida, and
Well,
one thing happened after another.
yeah, I was going to say, so I mean, you probably have a lot of contacts in South Florida still,
I do.
probably, yeah. So are you able to generate business from that area?
I generate a little bit of business that way. Everyone's starting to realize that I'm in the business now. So I've talked to a few different people down there,
Yep.
former colleagues,
Yep.
former classmates.
Right.
So everyone knows that I'm in the business.
What about doing like a joint licensing between here and Connecticut or Boston?
Well, if I was going to do one, I don't know if I would go Connecticut or Boston. I would actually go with Rhode Island because I'm originally from Providence.
Okay.
So I thought about possibly doing that. But another thing that I'm also thinking about doing is also getting registered with one of the boards down there in Miami
Okay.
and utilizing that so that way I have access to that full spectrum of the MLS.
I mean, that's where the big bucks are, and you have to be, it's a different market because I worked it for many, many, many years, but you have so many foreign investors coming in, picking up, buying the multi-million dollar condos, doing all that. And so it's a different product line. So you have to be prepared to know that, if you're going to, unless you have a sphere of influence that, is doing a $600 to $1 million house, because that's really what they cost. It's just like California, really, when you think about it. But the market that we had, it was challenging only because there was so much foreign investment money coming into the market, and we weren't prepared for it at a prior company I worked for because that business was just starting to happen. That type of product was just starting to happen. But I can remember sitting, watching it must have been in the 90s, the late 90s, early 2000s. And I was watching a primetime 2020 show or something, and it was showing all the condos that were being pre-construction, being built there. And everybody thought, oh, you know what, this is a get rich. I can do this. I can put 30% down. And it was non-refundable. But 30% down, buy a second home, rent it out, do whatever, and make, everybody was going to be an investor. And I remember sitting there going, something doesn't right. I mean, 30% down, non-refundable, it's going to take 18 months to build. You just never know what's going to happen. And, every single one of those crashed. I mean, and they left those units because first, they weren't worth what the builder built them for. And two, they weren't going to get their 30% back. So they lost that money. And I can remember back then, they literally, those units stayed vacant. I mean, for like 5 years. And I kept thinking, why don't someone just go in there and buy them and rent them out reasonably? I mean, they were top dollar condos, but I mean, at least get something instead of letting them sit there and rot. They didn't listen to me. I can't believe it, but they didn't.
No, I was in Miami during that era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like, I can remember Saturdays, people would go out there and do all this new construction, new build discount, 30%, do this, and and then those things just never valued out because it crashed right after that.
I remember seeing Portofino towers being built.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Really?
Well, you got to remember, I started living in Miami as a freshman in 1993.
Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah.
So I was there during that time frame.
Yes, you were. So do you, now that you've kind of established yourself here, do you like it here better?
I enjoy it so much.
Yeah, because you're living in the Villages.
I am.
So you have the beauty of all the things to do in there and stuff like that. Are you selling in there?
I am.
You are. So that's a good market for you.
Right now I'm concentrating on farming the Villages as well as the outside 55 and older communities as well.
Del Webb, Stone Creek. Yep.
Correct.
Which is what I kind of specialize in. Same thing. So, but so you're in the Villages, so you kind of know everything that there is to know when you're showing properties, which is important. I mean,
it
if you
is,
live in the Village, it makes a difference.
Well, I mean, also too, it makes an individual coming down from the very first time, not knowing anything about the community itself.
Yep.
You just put them at ease.
Yep. I think that has a lot to do with. I mean, what do they call them when they come in and do a lifestyle visit?
Lifestyle visit.
Yeah, and now when they do that, is that strictly the Village agents? You don't have anything to do with that?
We have nothing to do with that.
So you don't get them during that time?
Well, you can get them per se.
Right.
Because they're not bound to them for the entire stay.
Okay.
So they can make whatever plans that they want.
Okay.
They're going to be connected during a certain time frame. This is what all my clients tell me.
I mean, I literally could not believe going down the turnpike how far out the Villages has gone. I didn't know it until I was literally driving to Orlando like a month ago.
Well, that's the whole thing. They have like a 20-year plan.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be surprised when the Villages hits Orlando.
Yeah, I was going to say or Leesburg, right?
It's about to.
Yeah, and I'm just
They just signed a development deal.
That's what I heard. So they're going to be in Leesburg. So, I mean, I used to joke that there's going to come a time when you can take a golf cart from the Villages to Disney if you wanted to.
That's not a joke. That's going to be a reality.
It's going to be a reality, but I could not believe. I mean, I hadn't been on the turnpike in a while, but I had not seen how far out. I mean, it was for a mile or two, and houses. I'm like, when did all this happen? So they've got a plan. There's no doubt.
Well, also too, with that, most people, especially when they're coming from up north or they're coming from out west and seeing the Villages for the first time, they think it's just a small retirement community.
And it's not. It's not.
This community has blossomed into its own city in Florida.
Yeah, a tri-county city.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing when you give that revelation to people.
Right. So what do you think about, like when I was going down the turnpike and I saw all the houses there, I'm thinking, why would you live right off the turnpike and have all that traffic behind you, But they don't seem to care. It's just get you in there somehow and enjoy the lifestyle.
Again, I think it comes down specifically to these newer people that are moving down. They want to be closer to their friends.
Yep.
And it's all about distance between the areas where they like to congregate.
Yep.
Shop, dine, entertainment. And they want to be close to their friends.
And I'm just saying this off the record because every time I go there now, I mean, you can't find a parking space. If you're there at peak times, to go to the restaurants or the golf carts have all the spaces and everything. Tell me.
So depending on what square you go to, a lot of them have parking that is like hidden behind
the buildings. Oh.
And they have all these cut-throughs that lead right to the main promenade.
Oh, well, nobody ever told me that.
It's so convenient. That's exactly where I pull in all the time.
Where's the infrastructure going to allow for all these people coming in?
It's there, but it's so they haven't done so well that it's concealed. So
it's like Disney.
Yeah, so it doesn't look overcrowded.
Right. Well, that makes a lot of sense. So what's your favorite restaurant there since you're to the food side?
Oh, so I'm a big fan of Prima's.
Italian?
Yep, down in Brownwood.
Now is that Italian steak?
It's the Italian steakhouse.
Got it.
Right in Brownwood.
Haven't been there.
I love Bluefin.
Yep.
Being from New England guy. So, I mean, you love seafood. There's a couple other hidden gems without.
Now, do you like the clams with the bellies or without?
Both.
Gosh, I can't eat the ones with the bellies, but I love the strips. I mean, I love them.
Everyone loves fried clams.
Yeah.
Everyone does.
Yeah.
But I mean, ultimately, over the course of the last year and a half,
Right.
I've actually been coming up to Ocala a lot.
Have you?
I've been going to downtown Ocala with the square.
Call me next time.
All right.
Where do you go?
I bounce around everywhere.
Okay.
There's
Because
only
there's
a
a
couple-
lot of cool places.
There's only a handful of places that I haven't been to yet.
Okay. Anything you like specifically?
Specifically.
I mean, what is it? The Bank? Is it Bank Street? Have you been
Oh,
there?
yeah.
You like that one?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And,
Bourbon's my weakness. And barbecue. So, I mean, it's like
yeah.
it's a twofer.
Yeah. Have you been to the one that's on the corner? What is it called? The whisk. It's the one that's right on the corner where Melton Pot used to be. Brick City
Oh, yeah.
Barbecue.
That's what I'm talking about. Brick
That's
City.
the one you like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Bank Street is a real cool place too. I mean, it's out, you have some outdoor sitting, but everybody goes there and has their drinks. They
Oh,
usually have live music.
I've been to Bank
Yep.
Street for a couple of different
And
events.
Mark's. I love Mark's.
I haven't been to Mark's yet.
I'll take you to Mark's when you
I'm
get.
a big fan. I like District. They have some good things on their menu,
Okay.
both adult beverage wise and food wise.
Okay.
Have you been to the new Mellow Mushroom that just opened?
I haven't, but I've been there in Tampa, so
Okay.
I know they have good gluten-free pizza. My funny story: my brother-in-law who passed away a couple of years ago, he would go to Mellow Mushroom in Jacksonville, and he loved their pizzas every time he got one, and he would sit there and go, "God, this is the best pizza I ever had, man! I just love this pizza." And we go, it's gluten-free, and he goes, "What? I hate gluten-free. I'm not eating this crap anymore." So yeah, but no, it's a fun place.
Their pizza is good. However, I still say Paisano's is the best pizza.
I know. Do you like the? Well, I like the oven brick. Mm-hmm. But they have cauliflower pizza there too.
Oh, I haven't tried that.
It's just as good. I
Okay.
mean, they cook it in the oven. I have that every time. In fact, I just was there on Monday and had it. I mean, I get all the toppings that I would normally on a pizza, but
Sure.
I get the cauliflower, and they put it in the stone oven and comes out just like the regular pizza. So they're probably lying to me, actually, because it tastes too good. But you know who else does good? I mean, do you do gluten-free at all or anything like
Does
that?
it look it?
Well, actually, yeah, you kind of do.
No.
No, because how much weight have you lost since I last saw you?
From now until January, previous January that just passed, I've dropped 30 pounds.
That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you look a lot different than that. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
you're carrying it different. Well, so I can't. So gluten's not your thing.
I don't pay attention to any of that. I don't have any of
Yeah.
a gluten allergy or peanut butter allergy.
I don't either, but I just do it because it's lower calorie. Especially the cauliflower pizza.
I just watch what I eat,
Yeah.
and it's not like I have pizza every week or
Yeah,
anything
you
like
get it
that.
when you want it,
Yeah.
and that's what I feel like too. I mean, you have to kind of get something when you want. Just like this week, I think I forget who, maybe it was you. I've eaten so much junk this week, but I'm not going to punish myself over it being the holidays.
It's the holidays.
It's the holidays. I mean, I'm just not going to do it. I do it all year. I'm good. I'm behaving. I do what I'm supposed to do. And it's funny, if you have a bite or two of something that you're not used to having and you just think, oh my God, it's going to be so wonderful, you can eat a bite or two and it's really not as good as you remembered it being, So that's the beauty of me trying to lose my weight too. It's just trying to take a bite of bread and go, I love that bread. I really like the bread. That's my weakness.
Yeah, but bread down here is not the same.
You know who makes the best? I know.
It's not the same.
I mean, I can go to Mazzaro's in St. Pete and get the real deal, and I like Publix bakery bread.
Their rolls are good. I'm not gonna lie.
And their sourdough bread and their rye. It's good. I mean, if it wasn't homemade that you did it yourself, I would take that.
Yeah.
Yeah, their baguettes and stuff, they're better than a lot of the stores.
Yeah.
Not that I want to give anybody a commercial, but I do love Publix Bakery.
Yeah.
That's my.
I've been
my
going to
place.
Publix for years.
Yeah.
I know Publix all too well.
So Christmas time is coming.
Yes, it is.
Okay, and so you set goals and everything for 2024. You kind of know where you're headed. What do you
I
think
do.
about the market?
I know my goals for next year. I went over with my productivity coach, and we actually, a bunch of us just graduated from our like huge mastermind class,
Yep.
at Bold.
Yep.
So I was very productive in that,
Yeah,
very
you were
active.
the team lead, right?
I was one of the
team tables.
yeah,
Yep.
team
Yep.
captain.
Team captain. Yep.
So it was a little I was a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I had
That's new.
well, not only going into it for the very first time, I also had 2 mega agents on my team,
Oh.
plus an individual that just started her own brokerage.
Okay.
So I had all these seasoned
Seasoned people.
agents, and they were like, "Yeah, Paul, you go be the captain." I'm like,
Okay.
"All right, sure."
But you probably learned so much
I did.
by doing that role and being able to listen to them and how they do things, because I've been a part of Bold every year since I've been back in Ocala, and I mean I walk away with stuff that one day I'll pick up some things that I'm like, that's pretty good, and they have some fabulous. Anyone that hasn't gone to a Bold event needs to invest in it, because I think that's one of the best things I've ever seen an agency do.
Well, a bunch of the new agents asked me that. They're like, "What do you think?" I'm like, "Well, it's something to experience at least once."
Yep. Dora Campbell.
I know.
She goes every year.
She goes every year.
Every year. Yeah. So, I mean, and I go, why do you keep coming back? She goes, because I learn something different every time.
Right.
And she goes, it's a refresher for me, gets me goal-oriented again. And I think that's fabulous. I think, because I started laughing at when I saw at yours, and I was like, you're here again? She goes, every year. She goes, it's an investment worth doing.
Yeah, I mean, it really is, because it just resets your mindset. And
yeah, there was a guy, the coach that was, not this last one that you had, the girl.
Denise was ours this year.
Yeah, and I can't remember what the guy.
Dusty.
He's fabulous too.
I heard that too.
He was so good. I mean, I think I sponsored 2 last year, and both times I was like, I was ready to join real estate and get out of what I was doing. But yeah, he was very, very good too.
Yeah.
So you've got your goals set for 2024.
I do.
How you feeling about the market? You thinking?
I think the market's going in the right direction.
Yep.
And with how things are coming down with the interest rates, that's definitely going to help more buyers coming into the market.
Yep.
As well as
they can just stay steady for a while.
Yeah, and also those people, those potential clients that were on the fence,
Yep.
like, do we need to mortgage right now
Yep.
because we're starting the next chapter in our life? Can we afford this? Well, with the rates coming down.
They said, and I can't remember who I told this to the other day, but literally I read an article that if the rates drop 1% from where they are now, that opens up the buyer's market by 5,000 buyers. Just 1%. So you figure Florida being a primo state that people want to move to, I mean, they're going to pick up a higher percentage of that 5,000. So I'm very optimistic about next year. I mean, I was telling my regional, I said, I had to do my business plan for next year as well. And I said, if you would have asked me back in July or August to do this, I think I would have had a little bit of anxiety and told you, I'm not sure what's going to happen. But the last couple of months have just, I just feel like we're back in business again. And people have gotten used to the rates. They're not so, it's not having that 2-hour conversation with every client about, you can refinance. They know it now. They know it's not a lifetime situation. And it always goes back to, do you love that house?
Right.
Yeah. If you love that house, you're good. Okay. So, so that's one thing that, I'm very optimistic about for next year. I'm certainly excited for your growth and for what you're doing over there. I mean, I love seeing you out doing your thing, and I know you're going to blow it out next year. I'm just excited for you.
That's the plan.
Yeah, you're going to do it. And then take some pictures for me of your 7-fish dinner.
Oh, sure.
Except for the eel.
No.
No eel.
No, that's going to be included.
Yeah, that's
It'll
gonna
be included.
Okay. Now, do you like eel?
Oh, yeah.
Gosh, I tell you a 2-minute story. I'm not a sushi eater, but I went with a bunch of friends to a sushi restaurant, and I said, I'll try it. But I looked at the menu, and there was eel on the menu, and I said, I will try anything but eel. And you know what they ordered me?
Of course.
And I mean, I took one bite of it, and I mean, it tasted so horrible. I've never done this in a restaurant where I had the napkin to my mouth. I was like, what is this? Oh, it's eel. So, yeah. So to this day, I would never try another eel because, and those are ugly animals. I mean, fish or whatever you call them, I mean, you just get weirded out by just the thought of them being in the water.
Well, a lot of people get weirded out that you're actually eating them.
Yeah. It's weird.
That's not weird. It's
And
how
that's
you
the
were brought up.
Italian?
That's the Italian. That's my Italian side.
And what is the other side?
French.
French. So I'm French Canadian.
Yeah, so am I.
Okay. Oh, okay. So what do you do with French Canadian stuff? Anything good? Or is it all Italian for you?
No, I mean, I grew up with both households.
Okay.
So we do all of the Italian traditions, and a lot of my friends make fun of me because I don't eat pancakes because I grew up on crepes.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean...
Did you ever hear of, what is it called? It's a pasta that you eat for breakfast. It's almost like Orzo's? Mm-hmm. It's almost like that, but you cook it, you boil it, you drain it, and then you put butter and salt on it. But it's a little teeny tiny pasta.
You're talking about pastina?
Yes! My grandmother, who was French Canadian, every time we went there, pastina.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every single time. And to this day, I can eat a whole box by myself.
Oh, easy.
I love it. So you know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. A little bit of butter.
A little bit of butter and a little bit of salt. And
Yeah, a little bit of grated cheese on top of it.
Oh,
You're good
my
to
gosh.
go.
That and grits. I mean, but I like pastina better.
Oh, I love grits.
Oh, yeah, I love grits too.
Yeah.
All right, my friend, we have made it to the end.
There you go.
Can you believe it?
I
It
know.
was so easy, right? So Gabby's going to take a little headshot of you.
Okay.
So we can do the beginning of the thing. I wish everybody a fabulous 2024. It's going to be a phenomenal year for our business. And I want to thank Paul once again. Paul, do you want to tell them how to get a hold of you?
It's really easy to get in touch with me. Once again, my name is Paul Lemieux. I can easily be reached at my cell phone number. It's always on, 786-514-5182. And then my email address is really easy.
I can attest.
It is.
It
right?
is.
Everyone still makes fun of me.
No,
how I got it. It's literally Paul with 2 L's at kw.com.
So Paul, 2 L's at kw.com. Give him a shot. I think you'll be very happy. Thanks again for coming in, my friend.
Thank you.
Okay.